वनक्कम, मैं हैदर अली सैयद आसिफगम से यूनाइटेड अंडर तमिल शिवा.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, Doc. How are you?
I'm well.
Yeah. Are you Indian or from outside?
No, I'm slave American.
American. Okay, okay, okay. Actually, in India, we have two Shiva, and the real Shiva is basically uh, the king, the Pandian, who established the first Tamil Sangha and who built a great civilization. And that's the reason why the scientific community is calling Shiva the alien. They couldn't digest that the Pandyans have built the great pyramids across the globe. So that's the reason why. And when the Aryans, the Caucasians from Europe, they came in Iranian plateau, they took this concept of Shiva and they made him as a Aghori or a cannibal man, like how the Europeans were earlier. So they portrayed as one of their, because Aryans, you know very well that they are Europeans, and when they first landed in Iranian plateau around 3000 BC, so they took this concept of Shiva and they portrayed Shiva as one of as hunter gatherer cannibal Aghori concept. So this is there, and based on this fake Shiva, Hinduism is running, and the real religion of India
It's
is
very interesting
Asivagam.
information. To be honest, I wasn't aware that that's what I was stepping into. I had just seen the Quran, 230.
Yeah, actually, see, the Quran is because see, there is a certain bloodline which holds the position of administration. That is the bloodline of Set, the third son of Adam. Cain
Mm-hmm.
is the first murder, and he became the father of the European white race. First human is black, and then the first antichrist is Cain, and coming of antichrist means the bloodline of Cain will come and enter into Iranian plateau. So before deluge, there are history of the Pandyans can be divided into two group. One is that before the deluge and after the deluge. Before the deluge, pyramids across the globe was built by the Pandyan colony, and after the deluge, the civilization started from Gopikli Tepe, Anatolia, where we have Abu Huraira civilization, Mari civilization, Aram civilization, Elam civilization, Sumerian civilization, Indus Valley civilization. These are all Pandyan colony. And then we have this coming of the Antichrist, that is the Caucasian settlers. And from them, we will be having four beastly regime as per Daniel chapter 7. The first beast is Persian, the second beast is the Roman, the third is the Ottoman, and the fourth and final beast is the Kingdom of Saudi. So basically, India, Middle East, Africa, Arabia, it's a melanated country. So, and Quran also talks about that the Europeans, they will be closer to Asivagam or to the believers, because they will accept equality. They will bring in single currency. They will accept yoga, meditation, activation of Kundalini chakras and all that. But whereas the Muslim world is concerned, this Muslim world basically are descended of the Roman Empire and Persian Empire, the Caucasian settlers. So when Prophet Muhammad came, he's a black man. He united the black people and he fought against the first two beastly regime, that is Roman Empire, Persian Empire. And then later on, around 1200 AD, Genghis Khan, the Gog and Magog, the four-footed yellow pale skin from Mongolia, entered into Samarkand, Bukhara, Iran, Iraq, and genocide the Caucasians over there, thus breaking the backbone of Roman Empire, Persian Empire forever. Then we had the third empire, Ottoman Empire, rise of the Ottoman. Then in 1921, because of the World War, the Ottoman collapsed, and now we are in the in 1926. Saudi entered into Hijaz region, genociding 8 lakh black people over there and taking over the Hijaz region. And then they got oil, and in 1971 they floated a company called Public Investment Fund, and today America is been funded by those people, and through money lending they are trying to take control all over the world. So the fourth beast, which the Daniel Bible talks about, that he will be different from the previous three beasts, because this fourth and final beast will not have any large army, but he will give money and purchase the government system, puppet government. He will, all the government system will be controlled through money, debt, and mortgage, mergers and acquisition. Um, uh, okay. Any question on that?
No, that's actually a beautiful breakdown. I appreciate the education and edification.
Yes.
It's a
And
lot of information I've never heard before.
yes, and Bible actually 36 books from the Bible has been removed because it contains the information about the Pandyans. In India, the Caucasians, Brahmins, they have made Shiva the Pandyan as Aghori, and in the last and final book, that is Quran, which contains the information about the Pandyans, the first siddha and the first because so the Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi, these people are the final antichrist who wants to destroy Quran so that they can continue with their secret society called Mithraism, which was established in Iranian plateau in 1500 BC. So Europe is not a part
You're
of
saying
Illuminati.
the Sunnis and the Shias?
Yes, yes. Shia is basically Iran. Sunni is Iraq, that is Roman. Sufi is Turkey, and Wahhabism is Saudi.
Oh wow, okay. I wasn't
Yeah,
aware of that. So
yeah.
those who profess to be Muslim or Islam on the larger scale are really the Antichrist, is what you're saying, based on how they um interpret or utilize the Quran.
No, no. See the soul. See the before in every age the Jewish syndicate they have the trading community as well as the priestly cult. So in every age, whenever the prophets come, they after the prophet left, they genocide the people and they corrupt the book. So now previous book has been corrupted. So the final book is the Quran. So the Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi, they are designed to corrupt the Quran. So that's why there are 2 billion Muslim across the globe, and none of the Muslim knows the message of Quran. So they will be talking about Persian doctrine, and Persian doctrine you very well know it's connected with Mithraism, Mithra pagan cult of Zoroastrianism. So whatever these
Ah,
yeah, and Christianity, you very well know that it's been copied from the paganism, Mithraism, Zoroastrianism cult.
um,
So 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 the Antichrist is basically the Iranians, and the fight is between the Iranians and the people of India. So
yeah.
Illuminati, secret society has got nothing to do with Europe or another people, but because of this Muslim world, the whole world is facing problem. The four beastly regime,
Wow.
which Daniel talks about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Quran has got nothing to do with Muslim world. Muslim it's basically a reminder. That's the reason why Tamil Chera King responded to Prophet Muhammad, while Roman Empire, Persian Empire, they rejected Prophet Muhammad invitation. Europe will accept balanced way of life, but whereas the Caucasian settlers disguised as Muslim world, they will never accept the religion of God. And kingdom of God can only be established to balance power to people.
My question was who would you say is the bloodline of Isaac today? Who would be those people?
See, there are lots of mixing is also done, and the most corrupted people among the children of Israel are these Moors, Moors, Moors. Because of them, the whole tribe is suffering, and the bloodline is basically the black people of America. They are staying there, children of Israel. They are scattered nation. Just like Cain was cursed that he will be restlessly wandering on the earth with a sign. And similarly, because the children of Israel are basically facing the wrath of God, so they became a scattered nation. So these people they are staying in America. And remember one thing: it was not Columbus who started the slave trade. It was the Moors who started the slave trade, not because ancient history tells us that seafaring people were the Pandyans and the Moors. Later on, and it was Moors who showed way to Columbus. And Moors are everywhere. If you look the ancient history, if you of seafaring, because the story rotates around the trade. Okay, the trade takes because in our system of Pandyans, we keep a balance between spiritual and material world. But this anti-spiritual organization, they give importance only to materialism. They, for them, everything is a product. They want to sell everything. So we have
Wow.
to keep a balance between spiritual and material world.
So what would you say for someone who is of the slave trade, American slave, would be, I guess, their path of restoration? Because my opinion of someone who is subject to the iniquity, the sins of their forefathers, um, like their heritage, their knowledge of who they are and what they're supposed to do has been taken away from them. And that's the reason why I've been reading, these books. But I'm finding that in reading the books, I'm not really getting clarity on what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. See, as for do meditation, healthy body, healthy mind concept is there. So if you do meditation, you can rectify your DNA as well as you can get connected with your ancestors. That's and DNA coding is there, and that information is there right up till to the first DNA before the creation of Adam. So the DNA was created before Adam. So when you do meditation, you can get connected with your ancestral genetic memories as well as to God. So that's why meditation is very important. And yoga is for healthy body. And do any exercise, whether it be yoga, whether it's just to keep your body fit. And when you do yoga, you releases your pressure points so that it will help in boosting the seven chakras, which Quran chapter 15 verse 87 talks about. That Prophet Muhammad was given seven of repeated and the book of wisdom. So Quran is talking is reminding about the seven chakras, and the only way to activate the seven chakra is through meditation. Okay, so history of Europe is different. History of Middle East is different. African history is different. Chinese history is different. So by reading someone else's history, it doesn't make sense actually. If you are not a part of that history, and that's the reason why the Europeans they hijacked Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and started the religion of Judaism, Christianity, and Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi. So religion is not because the holy book is basically talking about children of Israel and the people of the book. People of the book refers to the Pandiyans, and the children of Israel refers to the bloodline of Abraham from Jacob. So if you are from that bloodline, the book is yours. Otherwise, you for the whole universe, whole mankind, meditation is important. That's why Chinese are doing meditation. They don't entertain religion. So religion is not is all Judaism, Christianity, and Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi is a fake, all fake. Where it's a means
Wow,
to
this is
enslave the
very
world.
interesting because you know, let's see, in the month of May, I happened to take the time to read the Quran, in its entirety. And after reading it, I looked at all the Muslims that I had met throughout my life, and I was like, wow, none of them, to my understanding of what I just read, are living by what it says. And it reminded me of, like, I was born and raised in Christianity. So it reminded me of, that experience where, I'm no longer Christian because what I read the book to say is not what, the religion, promotes and stands for. And so this information definitely expounds on my understanding, even more so now.
Yes, see, all the holy books are interconnected. And Quran chapter 1, when you read this, it talks about four things. Guide us to the straight path, the path whom you have blessed, not the path who are under the rot, and the people who went astray. So the story of the earth rotates around these 4 points. And that God guided part is basically the first, given all the information on non subject to the first siddha, that is Shiva. The blessed one is also Shiva the Set, because as per the Bible, also Set is the blessed one. Then the people under rot are the bloodline of Cain, because the Europeans are facing the karma of their ancestors because they are descendant of Cain. And then the astray people are basically the children of Israel from bloodline of Abraham, who have distorted the book, killed their messengers. So that's the reason why they became a scattered nation. So these are the 4 points which Quran talks about. So Surah Fatiha chapter 1 talks about, it gives a general, and the Quran is basically a reminder. It's not a book of conversion, and circumcision is not to be done, because God has created Adam in a perfect mold, And circumcision is only meant for the bloodline of Abraham, not the religion of Abraham. Bloodline means they're descendant of Ismail and Isaac. So if they are, if you know
If
your
they are from,
bloodline, where you came from, and if you want to correct yourself, it's totally between you and God. Because we human are basically created from three elements. One is God's particle, that is the soul, which is there between your pineal gland. We are the earthly material and the DNA, the blueprint of life. So it's basically we are three in one, not God. God is one and only.
Wow.
Got it?
How do you pronounce your name?
Hyder Ali.
Hyderly?
Ali. You can call me
Ali.
Ali only. Yeah.
Ali. Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much for
And
this edification.
never, because you take information, learn the history, archaeological, do archaeological evidence and all that site, but don't try to become a Muslim, because Muslims are basically antichrist, enemy of Quran. A Christian will be a spiritual person, but a Muslim will never be a spiritual person.
Let's say that one more time. A Muslim, Christian will what?
A Christian will at least have some spiritual knowledge. He will be a God-fearing person. But when you convert to a Muslim, they will be a worse parasite on earth, because they are the whole because the current active Luciferians are the Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi, the Muslim organization, because these people, they want to eradicate the Pandian history out of Quran. So they are enemy of Quran, and the purpose of Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi is to kill the Quran. So if you convert, then you are part of that organization. Whereas Christianity, you will find spiritual people also there, and that's why Europeans are accepting spiritual, yoga, meditation, activation of Kundalini chakras. So Muslim world are the final fight is between Jesus Christ versus Muslim world.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. This has been very edifying for me because I've had, many questions before reading the Quran. But
Yes.
like I said, after reading it,
Yeah,
like there
for
were certain things
information, like,
in it.
you should be open to the information, take the information. And secondly, one more thing, we have this Kuladevam. Kuladevam means ancestral get together.
Hmm.
And Mecca or Hajj is an ancestral get together for family of Ibrahim, not for other people.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's only for the family of Ibrahim, because in India, in African culture, in Chinese culture, you are aware that they get together in the name of their ancestors.
Right.
Ancestral get together. So that same culture was the Mecca Hajj is all is a place created constructed by Ibrahim. So both the whole family has the right. So it becomes the Kula Devam, means ancestral get together. So if those people who are from that bloodline, they for them it's their Kuladevam, means ancestral get together, whereas other people should not go there. So because Saudi is a Caucasian settlers, they have made it as the biggest pagan temple today, a commercial property, making money and fooling the world.
Right, right. It's interesting. I was talking with some Muslims when I was reading the Quran, and it turned into arguments because I believe myself, because as a slave American, I have no firsthand knowledge of my history, but as I read the Bible, starting with Torah, and then eventually the New Testament, in order. And this is after I was a Christian, because as a Christian, we pretty much just stayed in the New Testament. But after reading the Quran, it showed me the importance of going all the way back to the Torah, and I was glad that I had already done that, because the Quran actually speaks of a number of things. One of them is that prophets come to their people in their language. So knowing if I'm to say that the Torah, the uh, evangelical or the New Testament, and then the Quran are Hebraic, faiths, Hebraic, modalities, then, because Ishmael is where I believe, Muhammad would have come from, which is a son of Abraham. And all of these are sons of Eber, which is Hebrew. It told me that I needed to start with Torah because it is the Quran speaks highly of the children of Israel, which would be the Torah, and the evangelicals who the coming of the Messiah. So it's like, but then I speak to Muslims, and it's like they're constantly denigrating, those, writings and those belief systems. And I'm like, but those uh, um, foundational writings for the Quran to even come about were, given by, these devout people in their language. It like it came to these people in their language, just as the Quran professes that, it came to, the Arabics in Arabic. So it was very interesting, this information that and like I said, I've been praying and what I consider meditation. I don't even know if I'm doing that correctly, but asking a question, and then the great I am choosing to have you reveal some of these answers to me is really been a blessing. I really appreciate you for that.
Thank you. But actually, you should stay away from religion and be a spiritual person. That's more important. When you are spiritual, you are free. Because religion enslaves people. They divide people, and this division helps the syndicate of global elites. So as long as people are divided, because of God, the whole resources of the land should be equally shared with all the people, irrespective whether they are native or settlers, whatever the race will be. But because the few handful of people wants to control the whole resources of the earth, of every land, so that's why today we have the syndicate of global elites who are trying to take over the land, corrupt the people, and distort the soul.
It's a
And
big
now
plan
they were
for
of the
to.
syndicate of global elites. And as long as we common people are divided, we will never be able to fight them. So the unity of the common people is very important, and religion is the main cause for division. So when you become spiritual, you get connected directly with God. You don't need any mediator or any religion platform to get connected with God, because God has no religion. It's between you individual level, because we human are basically, as I told you, we are God's particle. God is within us, and when you do meditation, first we have to surrender this body to the soul, which is in us. So when we surrender this body to the soul, then if God wants, you can activate your kundalini and you can get connected with higher conscious. That's the second level of spiritualism. But before that, when you silence your mind, your body will be taken over by the soul whisper. Either we are influenced by the Satan whisper, or we are influenced by the soul whisper. So and through meditation only, we will be able to surrender this body to the soul whispers. I hope you got the.
Oh, indeed. And again, I do appreciate, you laced me up. It definitely indicates to me that, my prayer life and meditation life and praise life, how I've developed my relationship with the Creator and my ancestry is way more important than, what I read in English translations of a language, though it might have been mine in times past. I don't speak. So, it's hard for me to say, yeah, this is what it means in English, especially when I know, just looking at interlinearies, that words, in the original Hebrew, in many different places, it's translated to so many different English words. I'm like, yeah, it can't be, true. What I'm reading in English, like you said, it's been corrupted.
Yes, and secondly, actually, when you do meditation, and Quran always says Allah guides whom He wills. So the guidance, because we have lots of information, but whether that information is right or wrong, that can only be guided by through God guidance only. For that, we have to be conscious of God. That's why Quran chapter 2 verse 2 clearly says that this book is for the people who are conscious of God. And when you see the Muslim world, they are not conscious to God. They don't do meditation. They are just following a ritual, and their sole purpose is to have more children and to rule the earth. Because after the First World War, Second World War, Europe went into what you say spiritualism, a phase of spiritualism, and then they introduced a single currency, and people were living happily until the Wahhabism entered into Europe. So Muslim, as you said, as I said earlier, that the final fight is between Christ and versus the Antichrist, and Antichrist are the Muslim organization, and Quran has got nothing to do with these Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi. and that's the reason why no Muslim wants to understand the Quran. And if you discuss on Quran, they will get angry, and they will. I mean, they will always try to argue on things. They will not come to a point. I mean, they are totally spiritually dead people, zombies.
Yeah, I can attest to that. That's my experience with dealing with many of
Yeah, because I see there is every human has the same material. You have a God particle. I have also have a God particle. We are also created from the earthly material and the DNA, the blueprint of life. So we are all three. So we are all interconnected. We are a one conscious body. So either we are influenced by the negative energy or the positive energy. So we have to identify what is the positive energy and what is the negative energy. And religion is, all religions are basically negative energy, and all holy books are basically positive energy. For that, we have to connect all the holy books so that we can come to a common conclusion. As long as we divide the holy book,
I
then
definitely
negative
agree with
energy
that
will always be
perspective.
there.
Um, I'm gonna pop out, but I definitely appreciate the edification and the knowledge that you've been so graciously able to share, and I look forward to coming in receiving some more in the future.
Yes, yes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you again.
Vanakkam. Thank you.